He's tired, but it took me 25 years to get this Staffordine mic. So I got a few things I wouldn't mind saying if you just give me a few minutes. As I celebrate my 25 years, I'm asked a lot now, hey, how are things different? How are things changed? Like, what do you remember most? And I've actually boiled 25 years of experience into 3 major points, and I'm not going to go through all 3 right now, but I do want to share the third one because John touched on it earlier. Maybe one day I'll share the other 2, but I think I have a story I can tell that'll hammer home the point that John made earlier and something that I've learned. I remember when I was 10 years old, I was watching a TV show, and I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was a Thursday, and it was 5:23, and I'll tell you in a second how I remember it was 5:23. But on the TV show, they were talking about going down to the store and getting a root beer float. And I had never heard of a root beer float before. I didn't know what that was. And so I went to my mom, and I said, hey, Mom, what's a root beer float? And she looked at me, and she goes, what's a root beer float? She's like, get your stuff, we're going to the car. And we went to the car, and she took me to the local Tasty Freeze, and she ordered me a giant root beer float. And I remember it was 5:23 for a few reasons. One is, I know I'm dating myself, but digital clocks just became a thing. And so it was kind of cool to me when I saw something was 5:23 or 3:12 and I didn't have to count the minutes. The other thing is my birthday was May 23rd, so I remembered the 5:23. And I think what I remember the most about the 5:23 was dinner was at 6. And here's my mom at 5:23 taking me down to Tasty Freeze and getting me a large root beer float. And she orders me, it comes in like a bucket, and she got me the largest one. And we sat down, and she asked me all about my favorite baseball team, and she couldn't give a hoot about baseball. But I sat there and told her all about my baseball team as I'm eating or drinking this root beer float out of a bucket. And I miss my mom every single day, but in everything she did, I remember that Thursday at 5:23 having that giant root beer float. And so why do I bring that up? I bring that up because this Thursday at 5:23, you all are gonna have your root beer float moment. Everybody here, trust me, that's 25 years talking. You are all gonna have your root beer float moment on some random Thursday at some random time. You are gonna do something that a kid is gonna remember for the rest of their life. And it might be something you don't even remember the next day. I don't think my mom would remember that root beer float moment. Maybe she does, but it's something I'll always remember. And I know it's gonna happen because my kids who are now adults are telling me about their root beer float moments, things that I've long forgot about. And it's what makes the job cool. And I know it's gonna happen because everybody in here, you're all heroes. You're all heroes. And what's cool about it is you were a hero from the second that kid met you. The second you smiled at him, the second you put your arm around him, you were a hero to that kid. So what do we all have to do now? We have to earn that, right? We have to earn that title of hero. And I'm thankful to be in an organization of heroes. Greater Newark Boys and Girls Club staff, would you please stand up? I'm standing here is because you're standing there. You guys are my heroes. You earn it every day, and I'm proud to call you my family. And I'm glad to have this. I'm really glad to have this. And you know what? I'm going to take this back and I'm going to start earning this right now. Thank you, everybody.